Morning everybody, nice and humid here in Port Elizabeth this morning. I'm Jason, this is Steph, we're from Titan Auto Care. I manage the workshop here, do most of the major diagnostics and pretty much most of the engine rebuilds. Okay, so today, just a quick update on this M6 engine build that we're busy with. I built all the internals, Steph did all the external assembly. As you can see, there's a lot more to still go on. As the video progresses, you'll see the motor increasing in size and actually wonder how it's going to fit into that little gap over there. So originally the vehicle came in, customer was complaining about oil usage, smoking, loss in power. Bearing in mind these motors have limited lifespans, anything over 100,000 Ks, they need some preventative maintenance done to them to ensure their sustainability and reliability. Okay, so in short, the engine was stripped down, we had all the internals measured, crankshaft was polished, new King racing bearings were fitted, we had some piston scoring, fortunately nothing in the cylinders. For those of you that don't know, these V8 blocks, pretty much most of them on the BMWs, have what we call a nickel bore, which is not honeable, it's not reborable. So if you get scoring in the cylinders, let's replace the block at a decent cost. Okay, so there we were fortunate. We sorted out the pistons, new rings, all the internals, new oil pump. It's essential at this mileage to replace the oil pump. It's basically the heart of the motor. Without proper oil pressure, the motor is going to fail. Right, so, okay, a couple of things to make mention on this motor. On stripping, you don't always see all of the issues, especially external issues like water pipes, that type of thing. It's more noticeable when you're assembling because on assembly, you're checking everything as you're putting it back together. Essentially, we don't get to do all the stripping ourselves, so a lot of the guys don't pay attention to things that might be cracked or broken when they come out. Right, so if you move along to the back of the motor here, we can see this customer had aftermarket downpipes manufactured. Now, what we can actually see very clearly here is this downpipe has been touching the vacuum pump. Now, that is direct heat transfer into the vacuum pump. The engine oil circulates through the vacuum pump, which now creates a lot more heat. To give you an idea, these motors are running over 100 degrees Celsius on the cooling system, so we're already past boiling point. What we're doing here is adding fuel to the fire by increasing the oil temperature in the motor, and that can cause failure of many components. There's no heat shield protecting the back of the cylinder head here, so that will lead to premature valve stem seal failure as well. Okay, so what Steph's been doing here is trying to just fabricate some type of decent heat shield to get the heat away from the back of the cylinder head, and on the side protect the vacuum pump and the oil inside of it. Okay, so a lot of the guys, when they're doing things like this, they don't take things like this into consideration, and it can cause further damage. So although it sounds great, it's shortening the lifespan of the motor. Okay, then these two pipes, in case you're wondering, if I actually shake one, you'll hear that noise there. There's a little valve in there with a rubber diaphragm. It's called the PCV, or positive crankcase ventilation. This allows the engine to breathe properly. If they stick or they don't work, you're going to have oil consumption, smoking, erratic running on the motor. Very important to replace these on any build. Looking further along, this is what we call a high pressure fuel pump. You'll see one on each bank. This being bank 1, bank 2. This is a V8, so basically two engines in one. This is the twin turbo setup. This is the S63 B44, so it's a 4.4 litre twin turbo derivative. This is the performance version of the normal N63 motor that you would find in a lot of the 750s, X5s, X6s, that type of thing. Right, so as you can see over here, we have a maze of water pipes. Now, very important to inspect because a lot of them are plastic. As you can see, lots of little junctions. You've got water pipes running around the ECUs. You've got two, one for each bank. And if they fail, especially by the ECUs, you can have water ingress into the ECU, which is the last thing that you want. Yeah, you can actually see over time, you know, that might look fine when it's inside the pipe, but on closer inspection, this is what you're going to find. So a lot of the pipes are brittle. You can actually see that one's broken off, so we've ordered in a whole bunch of new pipes. Very important that these motors do not lose water. Because of the excessive temperature that we are running, you know, on design, don't ask me why, they say it makes it more efficient. I don't believe it. When you're running a motor past boiling point, you know, the slightest water leak creates instant pressure in the system and will cause catastrophic failure of the motor. Another important point to mention and point out, engine mountings. This one on the driver's side, we found it failed. You can actually see the oil there. You can see how loose it is. For those of you that don't know, these are oil filled to create a dampening effect, more comfortable drive and to support the motor properly. As you'll see on the new one, there's little to no movement at all. This happens purely through age and also the amount of torque that the motor puts out. Very important to check the mountings. What will happen when this fails, your motor will actually tilt. It can break the gearbox mountings, de-align the exhaust system, and due to the amount of torque that are being put through these on hard acceleration, they have to be able to take the punch. So this is actually an uprated mounting that we're going to be fitting. Right, just something off topic. The customer obviously drives this vehicle very hard. If we have a look at the brakes here, you'll notice how cracked all the discs are. You'll see it on the other side as well. Now that's extreme braking. You know, this vehicle is capable of producing high speeds. It's a heavy vehicle. So a lot of customers always ask me, I want my car to perform better. I want upgrades done to the motor. And I said, before you go faster, you need to be able to stop. So upgrade the brake system before you even look at the engine. And a lot of people do not do that. Very important. Otherwise, you're creating a coffin on wheels. Right, so Steph is going to continue assembling the rest of this monster that we've got here. Painstaking job. And then we will be pushing this beast into the vehicle. So that will be quite interesting to see. It's very time consuming. It is an extremely close fit. So if you forget to fit anything on the sides of the engine, you'll have to take it out again. So hopefully later today or tomorrow morning, we'll be ready to sink the motor in and you can follow the rest of the video.
Alright, so welcome back. It's finally day for the M6 motor to go back into its body. If you guys want to come and have a look on this side, Jason and Steph is busy fitting the flywheel now and attach the nuts on the back of the flywheel. Then the whole motor will sink back into the bell housing here at the back. That's the gearbox bell housing. It's a lot of tricky stuff to line this up. Once it's lined up, we'll push it back, put the bell housing bolts in place, and then obviously sink the motor back into its mounts. This process can take a little bit of while, a lot of finesse work that goes into it. Darren's going to take a nice little time lapse for us here, put some beautiful music over and make it seem like it happened in 2 minutes. In reality, this will probably take, what, an hour or two, Jay? probably an hour or two. And then with it, yeah, you can hear from Jay, you can see this is a tough part. Importantly on this part, you need to take your time. There's a lot of electronics, cables and hoses in here that can break. Take your time. Did the hard work already, got everything nice and perfect. We're gonna take our time, we're gonna slip it in nice and easy, and everything's gonna be perfect after that. Steph, are you still gonna start this up first time around?
Yes,
First time around?
first time around.
I wanna see that. It's gonna be a good one. This is a lot of...
When I turn the ignition.
There we go. There we go. Let's see if Steph can do it in one round. It's quite a difficult ask. Jay does this all the time. He does it in his sleep. But let's see how Steph does, all right? See you in a bit. Okay, so as you guys can see, between Jason and Steph, they managed to get the motor back inside. The rear of the gearbox bell housing isn't completely mated yet. Before we can do that and come and have a closer look here, you'll see that there's a lot of pipes and wiring. All these pipes and wiring needs to be put back in exactly the right spot. If you don't, one, they might not connect all in the right place, and two, they'll start rubbing when the engine starts running and the car starts moving and wear through a pipe, prematurely breaking the pipe, losing coolant and potentially damaging a motor. So there's a lot of finesse going into this job, making sure that everything is in exactly the right place. It's a good, nice lesson when you're looking at V8s and especially the more modern stuff. It's not just as simple as slipping it in and out. There's a lot of work that goes into getting it done right. Catch up after this. Yeah, you see the mechanic in his natural habitat, mating, making sure that we get the engine mounted all the way to the gearbox. See, he's very aggressive at this point, building relations with that motor. Won't be long till the two are mated and make a new couple. Here you see the mechanic in his natural habitat, mating with a V8 motor. If all goes well, the mating will go. If all goes well, there'll be little V8 pistons bumping around for the next 100,000 kilometers. Things are going well, the motor's fighting back a little bit, but it seems like they're seemingly getting along. When you see the mechanic mate with a motor, he only mates once with each motor every 100,000 kilometers. Thereon he moves to a new motor. Sometimes there's two mechanics mating, one from underneath and one from the front. We're just kidding. Mechanics have to lean and hug onto things a lot to make sure things fit. Okay, so between Jason and Steph, they seem very confident they're going to start this up the very first time. So we thought we'd put the rules down for this little competition. The rules are, you get your pre-startup obviously for oil pressures and fuel pressure, correct? You'll either do that through launch, ESTA, or you'll pull the fuel pump fuse, correct?
Yeah.
That's the only time you guys get to build pressure. After that, we press the start button once. The cycle is about what, 10 seconds?
Roughly, yeah.
And you get 10 seconds to start this car. If this car starts first time without fiddling with anything, I pay you guys $1,000. If they fail, they pay me $1,000. Is that the deal?
Yeah. That's the deal. I mean,
Done. Done. Let's see how this goes. I got a feeling they're going to win some money.
doesn't look sure.
He's going to be just fine.
Morning, everyone. Okay, so as you can see, the mating ritual has now ended. The fight continues. You can see there is absolutely no space to do anything on this. Okay, so where we are at this stage now, all the ECUs are connected, wiring is all connected, so we're now focusing on all the plumbing in the front, getting the engine oil cooler, radiators, aircon system, everything up. From there we'll fill all the liquids, engine oil, aircon gas, vacuum and gas, and then obviously the coolant into the system. Then we will hook up the diagnostic onto the vehicle and clear any existing faults. We're going to do a pre-prime on the oil system to get oil pressure. So what will happen, it will cut the fuel and spark to the motor while we're cranking just to build sufficient oil pressure before the initial startup. Then we'll bleed the cooling system and then we should be good to go. So that video will be coming shortly.
You're winning the bet. Are you going to win the bet?
I'm going to win the bet, yes, absolutely. Right, so we about at that time now. Got a battle scars fighting with this beast. We're going to do the engine oil priming function now. So whereby the engine is just going to crank to build up oil pressure and then we'll do the start after that. So let's see if we make some money today. Right, so we're ready for startup. Let's see what she does. Swing it, Byron. Keep your foot on the brake, crank it, eh?
You win the bet.
I think you owe me some money, eh? Me and Steve. Hello. Whichever way, cash or EFT. Wasn't it 1,000 each? Huh? How much was it?
1,000 rand.
They said 1,000 rand each.
I told you, Rob.
Huh? How much is it?
1,000 rand.
He said one
I told
each.
you, Rob. It's gonna start. What did I tell you?
So yeah, we're back again. As you can see, vehicle is now completed, running on all 8 cylinders. No water leaks, no oil leaks. We've done a heat cycle on it. Absolutely no faults on the ECUs. Very happy with the way it's running. So we beat this beast. We won the startup bet. Rob had to pay up. From here now it's going to move up to our detailing section. There'll probably be another video on that, where the vehicle is going to go for a proper clean and that, as it's been standing here for a while. So very dusty and dirty at this stage. But very happy with the turnout. Today we are going with the infamous M6, sorry. Gonna take it for a test drive, make sure there's no vibrations, customer's happy. Let's see what it does. It's on the test drive. So far everything's looking fine. Temperature staying constant. No vibrations yet. Let's continue further. Okay, so far all still good. We're on a fairly rough section of road, so no major vibrations or noises or anything like that. We're just gonna open it up slightly, see what it does. Okay, so just in closing, almost back at the shop. Happy with the final test. I've already explained to the client the do's and don'ts of driving the vehicle while it's still being running. Obviously after 1,000 k's it will come back for oil and filter change. For example, no exceeding 3,000 RPM through the gears. Try not to exceed the speed limit, obviously very difficult in this vehicle. And basically, you know, make